World. Coming back to do another little weekend work session here. See if I can make some more headway on the game. Let me get my timer started this time, because I forgot last time. Alright. When I left off, I was working on alternative movement controls for the ship. And I got them working. Functional. Ship automatically turns toward the mouse. Does do a little abrupt turnaround if it's swinging in the right direction. So accounting for its velocity might be a thing I want to do in the future. But yeah, it looks like this is working pretty well, but I want to tune the values because it's very slow and floaty right now. So let's do some tuning. Checking if I was messing with the movement settings on the ship script at all. Don't think I am. So let's try setting these things like super high. Because I feel like something's being clamped. Okay. So the velocity is going great. The rotation seems to be kind of capped. So I need to figure out why that's happening. Because I was trying to crank up these numbers. And feels like the torque is being capped here, so why is that? Apply rotation force. So the desired angular velocity is clamped to how many degrees of rotation away we are. Times max angular velocity. I feel like I made a mistake on this line here. So our desired angular velocity is our max angular velocity. I'm going to do this differently because this got confusing. If degrees to rotate is positive, here, let's just do it like this. If we're rotating by negative degrees, we're going to multiply the desired angular velocity by -1, and then we want to clamp that value. So we want to go at the top possible speed, multiply by -1 if we're turning in a negative direction. Then we're going to clamp it. To no, we don't need to do this. First, we're just saying what direction are we turning, and we want to go the max possible speed in that direction. Then we want to clamp to a minimum of let's think. Actually, maybe this sign flip should happen at the end. So we're going to say we want to go max speed. We're going to clamp the value to between 0 and the absolute value of the rotation degrees. You know what? I need to be doing this differently. When I'm translating around, I have this notion of arrival. That's how many degrees, that's within how many degrees do we start slowing down. And I need to do this the same way. When we're within 15 degrees, we'll start to decelerate. Desired velocity. Times equals absolute value of the degrees to rotate divided by the arrival threshold. So if the So we're taking, say our arrival threshold is 15 degrees and we're 15 degrees away. That's 15 over 15 is 1. Multiplying by 1, no change. But if the degrees to rotate is 0, then that's 0 divided by 1 is 0. And then we want to slow down completely. And then, okay, I think this is right. So we say we want to go max speed in the direction that we're rotating. If we're within the arrival distance, then we want to start to slow down proportionally to how close we are within that distance. And then we figure out whether we are whether we're rotating left or right, basically, by setting the sign. Then we apply the torque. Scaled by time dot delta time. I mean, this looks potentially right to me. Test it out, see if it behaves weird or if this does what I want. My goal is for this to rotate a bit faster. Okay. That's not bad. I think I need a wider arrival threshold because it's bouncing a little bit. It needs a little more time to decelerate, so maybe I'll do this like 30 degrees instead of 15. Quite a bit less bounce there now. Okay. It's looking pretty good. Sometimes it overshoots a little bit, but not bad. Okay. That looks pretty good. And then I want to do, what's that, torque? Try cranking this up. Max angular velocity, let's set it to like 360 or something. There we go. Okay, that's how we get it real snappy. Cranking that up. So that is too high, but at least it feels like it's working now. Let's get these values tuned, at least for the rotation part. So it's overshooting a little bit, but not too bad. Try like 150. And maybe a little bit less torque so that it accelerates and decelerates a little slower. Okay. Maybe 180 is fine, actually. We'll do 180 for now. Keep that torque where it is. When this is a little nimble ship with not a lot of stuff on it, I'm okay with it being real poppy. Maybe the torque should be, if the torque is higher, does that mean it decelerates faster? It does. It's got a little